In this episode, I'm going to chat a little bit about unrealistic expectations. I have a little bit of a confession to make. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, by the way. But you can call me Pajama Grandma. In case you haven't met yet, if you want to put hashtag pajama in the comments below. So I know it's the first time you're being exposed to the Pajama Grandma. Sometimes I have a bit of an acquired taste. But since this is the place where I document the journey of me transitioning from the brick and mortar and corporate world of business to the online world of business, kind of anything goes. And I get to totally be myself here. And I hope you appreciate that. And if not, please don't listen to me. I get some haters every once in a while, and I just kind of laugh because I'm like, guys, we all have free will. We all have the choice to choose what we are and are not going to pay attention to, and we are or are not going to listen to. So if I annoy the living crap out of you, please change the channel. Turn me off. Don't watch me. Don't participate, because I'm only here for the people that I'm here for. And if it's not you, that's awesome. Go find somebody that you can relate to. Go get some really awesome, hot, good-looking, young, motivational lady and follow her, but don't follow me. So what does it have to do with unrealistic expectations? Unrealistic expectations, a little bit of a confession. I track and write down in this little notebook, and I've been doing it for a long time, like pages and pages of my daily content creation. And I'm a daily content creator. I go on every day and I make several different pieces of content like this. In March, I started this pretty much with a vengeance, following the Funnel Hacking Live event. And there was a gentleman there named Peng Jun that talked about his content strategy and how he takes 3 days out of the month and he creates 125 videos, and then he has this whole team of people that disseminate and process, I call it processing, his content throughout the month then. And so I decided, well, I can do 125 videos. So I did 125 videos on a topic that I found out I have to have a temporary hiatus from. So I had to pick another topic and another strategy and another direction for my business, which I'm totally cool with because it's an idea, and it's a business idea that I've had for at least 10 years. I think I registered the domain name Supersize Business, Supersize Your Business, like over 10 years ago. 10 years ago for sure. What is it, 2018? Oh yeah, 10 years ago for sure. It might have been 14 or 15 years ago. It was a really long time ago, because I've really been interested in doing things on the internet and online, but I never gave myself permission to, or made the time and made it a priority to figure out how to do things online. I sort of dabbled for a decade, and then as I'm making other life transitions, I said, okay, well, maybe now it's time for me to actually explore this and make a move toward doing something online and on the internet, so that I have the freedom to live the life I want to live, to be who I want to be, to do what I want, when I want, where I want, whomever I want, wearing what I want. And it's usually my pajamas these days. So where unrealistic expectations comes into this, and why I started the conversation in the first place, is today is day 287 of me documenting my journey. Now, I was journeying probably for a year before I started documenting, because I was scared to document it. I didn't want to share the good, the bad, and the ugly with other people, because it's not very comfortable sometimes. It's not very comfortable to get on Facebook Live and tell people you suck at something, or that I am really, really struggling with something, or that I'm having a hard time, or that I made a stupid choice or a stupid decision for my business, and what I thought was going to spiral me up spiraled me into a big old pile of dog doo-doo or cat doo-doo or whatever it might be, but it didn't take me in the direction I wanted it to go. And one thing I noticed, that about day 30, I started to feel like I should have done more, and I should have been further along on my journey. And why hadn't I, made $1 billion yet at day 30? And I realized that, like so many other people, I have unrealistic expectations. And where do these unrealistic expectations come from? Well, they come from us watching what other people do, comparing ourselves to others, not knowing the whole story, and thinking that when we're watching social media and we're watching people's highlight reel, because that's what it is for most people on social media, we're seeing what they want us to see. It's kind of like a movie. They only show you the parts that are important to the story. They don't show you everything. It's the exact same thing with social media and with life. We only see bits and pieces of other people's life and their experience, and we never see everything that went into making them and putting them in the position that they're in right now. We don't see and I so know this, but sometimes we just have to be reminded, there are no overnight successes. Guys, if you're starting your business and you're thinking that you're going to make $1 billion or $1 million overnight, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. Does it happen miraculously for some people? Absolutely. But then somebody wins the lottery every once in a while too, right? Didn't somebody just win $1.6 billion or something in the lottery? It happens. But what is the probability of it happening to you? I don't know. Only you know that. But, so that's the whole unrealistic expectations, overnight success. There are no overnight successes. Whoever has an overnight success, if you explore and dig into their story, you will see that their overnight success took 54 years or 43 years or 20 years or 10 years or 12 years or 3 years, 3 years of hard work and effort to create something that they wanted to create. It didn't happen overnight. It's all about who you need to become to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. You have to become that person first and be that person first. And then the thing that you want will automatically be attracted to your life and come into your existence. And it's not as woo-woo as that just sounded. It's dressed up a lot of times as effort, hard work, choices. I hate the word sacrifice, but it's making choices that are moving you toward what it is that you want to achieve. And to me, when I'm choosing something, and when I'm choosing between alternatives, that is not a sacrifice. That is me making a choice to move me toward what I want. Is not going out with people on Friday night a sacrifice? For some people, but it certainly isn't for me. I'd much rather be working on something that is moving me toward what I want, moving me toward my future. Maybe that involves reading a book. Maybe that involves working on a website. Maybe that involves writing some emails. Whatever it is, to me, that's a choice. It's not a sacrifice. So unrealistic expectations. Every once in a while, all of us have to check ourselves for our expectations. And it's not usually that we're not capable of absolutely everything. It's that we shrink the time frame that we think we can achieve something in, and then we set ourselves up and get frustrated and ornery with ourselves because we haven't done something yet. Whenever I'm frustrated or upset about something, it's always because I have an expectation that isn't being met. So if I'm frustrated that I'm not getting something done fast enough, because like in the last 2 days, I've been frustrated with myself because I'm not getting something done fast enough. Well, that's an unrealistic expectation. I am getting it done at exactly the pace that is right for me, because otherwise I'd have it done already, right? So me being frustrated that it's not done yet is absolutely ludicrous and pretty comical, actually, because it's like being mad at the weather. You know, what good does it do to be upset or frustrated with the weather? It's something that we have absolutely no control over, but we do have control over how we feel about it. So I always love the weather, whether it's raining or storming or snowing, and I bitch and complain and moan about it just like everybody else. But I know that there's no sense being upset ever about the weather because there's nothing I can do about it. I can prepare and I can wear a warm coat or I can take my umbrella. But as far as changing or having an impact on the weather, zero possibility for me to do that. That would be a totally unrealistic expectation. But I can expect that I will choose to never be upset by the weather. I will choose to never be upset by things that I personally can't control. Now, I do allow myself to be hard on myself when I am behaving in a way that isn't congruent or consistent with how I want to be and how I want to show up in the world. So if I'm feeling frustrated or ornery or negative or bitchy, because sometimes I still feel bitchy, or mean, and I don't really feel mean very often, but sometimes I'm mean to myself. And if I'm beating up on myself and I'm not behaving and I'm not reacting to situations outside of myself in a way that makes me feel good, then I will get up. I will get frustrated and I will get on myself and I will have higher expectations of myself. Now, there's a difference between high expectations and unrealistic expectations. I have a saying that I've lived by for a really long time: you get what you expect. And I think that is 100% true for absolutely everyone on the planet. We get out of our life and out of any situation exactly what we expect to get out of it. We also get out of every situation what we put into it. What we give of ourselves to anything is what we get back in return. It's not a one for one, but the whole law of karma thing comes into effect here. It means that if I give something my half-ass effort, I can expect half-assed results. If I give something 100% of myself, my being, my excitement, my curiosity, and I just go all in, I can expect incredible results. And even if I don't get the actual result I want, even if I don't make $1 million from this idea, I still, if I'm excited and I give it my all, I'm going to end up with a much better outcome and a result than if I just gave it a partial effort, just tried to do it. So unrealistic expectations are expecting the time frame of an achievement of something to be different than it is. And high expectations are what I enter into everything with. I always expect things are going to work out perfectly for me. I always expect that the universe is rigged in my favor. Those are high expectations. They're not necessarily unrealistic expectations. Now, I can hear some of you saying, I don't think the universe is rigged in my favor. I don't expect things to work out for me. And I'm going to challenge you to watch your life and ask yourself, how is that belief working out for you? Are you getting disappointed a lot? Are you finding that you feel like the world and the universe doesn't support you? Because if that's what you expect, that's what you're going to continue to see evidence of. But if you take the opposite approach like I do, I see the universe lining up and making great shit happen for me like every day. I'd much rather live my life that way than thinking that everybody's out to get me, that I'm a victim, and that the world is an evil, dark, and terrible place. Because it's not. But if that's what you expect, that's what you'll see. We only see what we expect to see in ourselves and in other people. So I say, raise your expectations. They don't have to be unrealistic as far as crunching the time, but have the absolute best, highest expectations for yourself. And that's how your life will unfold. That's enough ranting today on unrealistic expectations. Today, I'm catching up on the One Funnel Away Challenge. I've kind of half-assed done it because I've overcomplicated it. And again, I thought I should have been done already. I thought it should have been easy for me. And that was an unrealistic expectation because I forgot that I overcomplicate everything. And that's the lesson in this whole challenge for me, is to keep it simple, follow directions, do the basics, and do the basics well. And you can always come back and embellish and make things better. Life's about continuously improving things and making things better, especially ourselves. So I'm going to do that today. I'm also setting up the members area because we got a new challenge today. I'll do a demo on that on Facebook Live because I love setting up members areas. And I think that a lot of people struggle with that. And if you keep it simple, when I'm doing it, showing other people how to do things, I keep it simple. But when I do it myself, I really make it a pain in the butt and hard and complicated for no apparent reason, because done is always better than perfect. I'm not a perfectionist. If you look around me, you can tell that. But I do tend to look for more information and more sources than I ever possibly need. I look to get a whole bunch of data and information, and that's probably the nerdy engineer in me, but we don't have to do that. So I'm working on that today. No interviews today. It's all about moving my personal projects and my personal business ahead as I transition from the offline brick and mortar world to the online world. So what are you doing today? Anything exciting? I hope so. Share in the comments below. And if you want, share one of your unrealistic expectations that you've had of yourself in the past, because I think that would be a great discussion for everybody to have, because I think we can learn from one another and know that we're not unique and alone in how we feel about expectations and how we approach our lives and how we set things up either for our success or for our failure. That's it. I'll catch you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.